Hopefully it's not shuddering, but it could be having trouble with me trying to load the game at the same time, so maybe I won't play the intro when loading up the replay next time. But let's actually just finish setting up the overlay. Shouldn't take me just a second. Just going to put the colors in, and we should be good to go. Okay, just need to put the positions as well, just because I forgot to update that last time. But you know what? Should be cool. V1 is going to be fighting for his team's life still in the series. Of course, there was a loss there for pSi, their first loss in the STPL, but it isn't enough to take them down. Of course, there is still possibly 2 games left in this series. If V1 can pull this off, it is going to be a TVP. It is going to be on Chupung-Ryeong. And are we going to see Marine go for the... Oh, sorry, not Marine. Are we going to see V1 go for a very similar rush? Let's actually find out. So let's have a look. So of course it's going to be a TVP. It's going to be Marine versus V1. This is a very good map for Protoss against Zerg. So, oh, sorry, Protoss against Terran. We've not seen a PvT yet in the STPL. So that's a bit unfortunate, but we are going to see one now. The first ever game on this map I actually saw was a TVP. It was between Fancy and Stork in the Incra OSL 2008 finals, and it's part of the reason why I'm still playing this game, so that's why I decided to put this map in the first map pool. One of my favourite maps, I think. Kind of crazy for a 2-player map. And as I said, it's going to be a TVP. V1 actually did lose last week for Team Liquid Staff, so this is going to be his redemption match. And let's see what V1 is going to be able to do. Let's switch over to the game screen and let's get going, guys. Okay, so starting us off in the bottom left position, it is going to be our green Terran. It's pSi Marine. And his opponent spawning in the top right position is going to be the purple Protoss, V1, fighting for his team's life in the STPL. Now, if you haven't followed the game so far, I do recommend checking out my YouTube just to see the VODs, because the games are pretty fun. Even if you don't want to listen to my commentary, it's fine. Just mute the VODs and watch the games. We've had a lot of very, very fun games in the SCPL so far. TL's last series was pretty cool. Unfortunately, they did get stomped. So it should be interesting to see if TL can pull it back this week. They're doing a lot better this week than they did before. And pSi are a very, very good team, so looks like Marine is asking if he's from the US, but V1 is actually from Estonia, and he's saying connection's very good. I guess Marine must be America or something like that, but it's just kind of normal, I guess. Let's see what openings both teams are going to be going for, or both players are going to be going for, sorry. There is a very, very cheesy rush you can do on this, but it looks like we are going to not see that from V1. He's going to build his gateway in his base. He wants to... He's not really in a position to really cheese too much. Like, he may want to, but the trouble is, if you're... as Artosa said, if you're going for a gamble, it's really dangerous to do that in the team league in, like, the fourth game, when you're 1 game away from bringing it back to the ace match, bringing it back to 2-2. And it looks like we'll have V1 scouting pretty early, going to be able to see that there is going to be an SCV scouting for this proxy location. You can build a gateway in here, wall this off and put the pylon behind it, and there's absolutely nothing the Terran can do about it. It's brilliant. That was how Stork beat Fancy in that OSL finals. On this map, he went for a proxy 1 gate. I did a lot of damage on this map, so a little bit of PTSD from my side on this map as well. I played this quite a bit in practice games and stuff like that, and had similar things happen to me. And I did play a little bit when it was still in the IC Cup ladder pool. Looks like we do actually have everything going as normal for both players. We have the scouts just moving around inside the base now. Marine is going to be able to see that it is going to be 1 gate core. He's going to see that the gas is still being mined, but as Sale once said to me, most Protoss players don't bother pulling off gas or anything like that, because why would they need to, you know? It's Protoss. They need the tech later on. But here we go, we're going to have the second depot coming up. And the SCV just going to be kind of annoying. Try and do a little bit of damage to the pylon. It's going to take the shields down very, very quickly, but it'll take forever for it to actually kill the pylon. So don't worry about it too much. And my cat is not called Fantasy, she is called Lottie. But yeah, she has been around with me since long before I got into Brood War. I got into Brood War in 2008 and she was born in 2001. So she's been in my life for quite a little bit longer than Brood War has, but you know what? Brood War is very important to me as well. And here we go, looks like Marine is going to pull some resources. He is going into a factory with a machine shop, so we're likely going to see a siege expand. He's not building any additional Marines here, so it's not going to be an FD push or anything like that. He's going to hold his ramp with the 2 Marines for now, going to wait for that first tank. That Lottie, oh my god, seriously man. Okay, we actually have the command center coming up on the high ground. His SCV is going to be saved, and this Dragoon is going to have to move back, but when the second Dragoon, if he does choose to send across the map, gets there, we'll actually go do some damage, but looks like V1 is just going to play it safe. He's going to add on his second Nexus with ranged Dragoons on the way, knowing there's only 2 Marines. He would have seen the fact the barracks wasn't blinking as well. Does give him a very, very good reasoning to know that there isn't too much coming on. We actually have the second gateway on the way as well. And here we go, looks like the 2 Dragoons, as I suspected, are going to try and poke up the ramp, do as much damage as they can to the Marines. Wants to make sure that the Marines are sort of knocked down in health as much as possible before they do come for an attack. Now, weirdly, V1 is trying to head off this SCV. He really wants to get this SCV kill, I think. No, he's actually... Wait. I guess he's just defending against a back push. Maybe he wants to make sure no units come around the back. As I didn't mention it before, but you can actually build a gateway here. But there's also a back passage into where the third bases are. You can see it in the bottom of the map as well. And it can be a very, very nice place for Terran to push down, as you do get this position of behind the mineral line, which is very strong for Terran and Protoss to push to, and Zerg as well, but they usually just floodlings through that entranceway, and that's why often we'll see walls and things being constructed there. But one of the probes doing a dance. Pretty good. There's not really too much going to be happening in this game. How is Marine going to transition though? Is he going to stick to just mass tanks? Or are we going to see a lot of Vulture play? Of course, Vulture play very strong on this map. Weirdly, he's actually building a few more Marines. So, kind of a strange choice there. But we could always see someone like a Deep 6. That'd be kind of cool to see. Very, very unlikely that we'd see that in this game though. Here we go. Looks like V1 is actually going to go and try and take a third base very quickly here. Interestingly, looking to take the base in the middle of the map. Citadel and Observatory coming up at the same time. So that does give him the option of going into Templar Tech, going into Arbiter Tech a little bit later on, once he does have the Templar Archives. So looking pretty good for V1. Marine still only on 1 factory, only now adding a second factory very, very late. Usually Terran players would look to have about 3 factories at this point, unless they're going for like the 1 racks. 1 fact, even triple expand, but we don't actually see that from Marine. It's going to be very difficult for him to do that as well on this map. V1 still trying to pull enough minerals for the Nexus. Not really too much he can do, just going to add on some gateways. And going to be looking to be perfectly normal. We do actually have a scan coming down on the natural base, and Marine may actually be looking to do a very, very quick triple expand here. Going to be quite difficult for him to hold this. You can't quite see it, but there is a little choke here. You can actually wall off with a single depot. But it looks like Marine is just trying to do his best to make sure there's no proxies or anything like that. But V1 is not looking to be aggressive. He is going to look to get a forge up, get his cannons, and go for a super defensive game. Very, very easy to actually split this map. Kind of strange though that we don't actually have V1 taking this high ground pod. Really nice place for him to hold. He will of course stop the SCV scouting here though, and he will stop him scouting the full Dragoon count. I believe his vision would have gone by then, so he would have missed that. But Templar Archives on the way, not really too much else going on for V1. Marine looks like he has just been adding on lots of tanks. Gonna add on a third factory now, but as I said, quite late. So this could mean that the 3 gateway production of V1, or 4 gateways now, is actually going to come into effect. It allows him to take this high ground, and he's actually going to try and push in here. This could be very, very dangerous. He gets the scan on the observer though, really, really nicely done, and that is going to make V1 move back to this high ground pod and just try and play a little bit more defensively, but he could actually get a really good engagement here. And the second he starts adding on some zealots, which he is now, this can be a very dangerous position for Marine to take, and this is why this map was so good for PvT. You need to take this high ground this turn. Wow, he actually added a medic on. I've not seen that in a very, very long time. Adding that single medic, maybe he would have gone for blind, I'm not too sure, but we do have the Dragoons attacking into the tanks. Going to fall back. Does have a small little contingent of Marine forces. Vulture numbers are very, very low though. Does he even have mines? No mines yet. He's not actually researching them at all. So kind of an interesting choice there. Looks like he is going to try and push up to this third base. He does know about this now. And it's actually going to be quite hard for V1 to actually hold on to this. Really, really nicely done by Marine actually, but really, really nice unit movement here by V1. He's going to see where all the units are going. He's actually going to get one of the tanks that was out of position, and these other 2 tanks are completely undefended. Now the Vultures are going to come up, they're going to show themselves at the back of this base, and Marine with the back units are going to be able to do with this, but he's going to lose his tanks, and this is the main bulk of his push. So really, really mishandled army there, unfortunately. These Vultures are going to try and take down one of the pylons. This can take them a very, very long time, but it should be all okay. Now, as you can see, we had another scan coming down. He does actually scan for the third base again, just making sure. But these units should actually be able to be cleaned up pretty quickly. This is 3 free SCVs, 4 free Vultures, and like 5 Marines. The V1 is going to be able to clean for it completely free, and there's nothing Marine can do about it. So Marine is going to be very, very far behind. V1 does actually have his base mining. It's not fully saturated, but it's mining, and that's the main thing. He will get his Vultures out, which is good, but I'm not really sure it's going to be too much. As you can see, the probes are actually caught up on the buildings here. This happens very rarely, but when it does, it's incredibly annoying. They're actually completely stuck, I think. He needs to figure this out. They're not going to move. I'm going to keep an eye on the minimap just to see if that still happens. We actually have a DT here moving in on the tanks. Can he get this tank? It's going to take 3 or 4 hits. I think it's 4 full hits to kill a tank. He doesn't scan in the right place. There we go. One of the tanks gonna go down to the DT. That's a nice trade for the Protoss player to be getting. He's going to be able to hold his own high ground. We still have the probes trapped. This is why V1's base is not mining, but here we go. We actually have the Terran moving out, laying a lot of mines out in front of his army, but his tank count is very, very low at the moment. He's only got 2 machine shops. They are constantly producing tanks now, but for the longest time his tank count, or his unit count, was very, very small. But can Marine actually get the position? He's laying more and more mines. Would actually be nice to see some more mines being laid in that position, but are we going to see the same problem we had before? Is Marine going to keep his tanks in the wrong location, or is he going to be able to get up onto the third base? If he takes out this third base and takes this position, it's going to be very, very hard for V1 to actually hold on to the bases. Looks like we actually have the Dragoons coming in up the ramp. They do not want to be fighting up the high ground against these tanks, and they will clear up the mines. Is there going to be any more mines planted? Just a few. Luckily enough for... Well, unluckily enough for V1, most of his probes actually did get here. Here we go, DT's moving in on the tanks. There's no mines here to defend this. Is this going to be enough units from the Protoss player? He does have Zealots coming in as well, but his Dragoons are going to get filtered through a very, very small choke and up a ramp. And this is not the best of positions for the Protoss, for the Terran player. +1 attack is done for the Protoss. He's going to clean up Marine's army, and he is going to be feeling pretty good about that. Looks like Marine is going to try and reinforce with some Vultures, go for some harass. But I think he may have missed his opportunity here. And looks like we do actually have an Observer went down to a turret. Bit unfortunate there. We have Marine trying to take this third base, a little bit dangerous. Would have been better to see him take that base here, but this is definitely going to go down, likely going to be cancelled. And Vulture's trying to move in from the back, a missile turret trying to be built right next to the Dragoons. but not really too much he can do. It looks like we have probes transferring past the mines. Marine does not realize this. Does he actually have a tank? No, that's a couple of mines even. But he could have got a lot of probe kills if he was paying attention to the minimap. Looks like the CC was actually cancelled. And Marine is in such an awful position right now. The Vultures cannot get into a position here to actually hit the minerals. So a little bit too far away. But looks like Marine is going to try and push back out, take his high ground. Does he have any upgrades on the way yet? He does have an armory. I think +1 attack must be finished. No, it's not. He's completely skimped on upgrades. It sounded like we didn't actually have a mine going off there, but didn't quite see where it was. But unfortunately there, but I did hear a Dragoon die, so nice usage of the mines there. Just going to be very, very annoying. Now, interestingly, V1 didn't commit to this position. It looks like Marine is trying to push into the same position. If it doesn't work once, try again. Or fool me once. Okay, I'm forgetting what the saying is, but it's like, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, but this is fool me the third time. I don't even know where we're going from here. But it looks like there is a shuttle loaded up with zealots. It's going to be very, very difficult for Marine to take this position. Really surprised that he is even trying to push against this. He's behind in upgrades. Here we go, there's a nice engagement though from the Protoss player. The zealots are on top of the tanks. The tanks though, cleaning up a lot of the units even without any upgrades, but I think this is just too much from the Protoss player. And Marine is going to be slowly starting to mine out of his bases. He's got very little money left in his main. His natural should be pretty healthy, it's about halfway done. But V1 certainly in a commanding position in this game. We actually saw that get scanned as a precaution there, but here we go. Marine forced to give up the high ground outside of his base, and Marine is going to find it incredibly hard to expand now. He's way too far behind against the Protoss player. We only actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, only 8 gateways for the 3 bases. Looks like we're finally going to have Stargate tech coming in as well. And that wasn't a George Bush quote. Maybe it was. Maybe I just said it really badly. But here we go. Looks like Marine is going to try and take the high ground, but he needs to make sure he gets the high ground soon, or he is going to find himself in an awful, awful position. Holding this high ground means he can take this third base, which it does look like he's going to try and do, but V1 doesn't look like he's in a position to want to allow him to do that. I am losing my voice, losing my marbles. But here we go. Looks like we don't actually have any mines out in front of the tanks once again. So this could be very, very dangerous. A lot of the oh, actually getting a really nice High Templar snipe there with the with the vultures. And Marine looks like he will in fact be able to take this high ground. He needs to add a turret here, and of course the observer from from V1 working as a map hack, gonna allow him to see everything that's going on. I just want to point out the really, really nice map vision by V1. He's got a probe here, an observer here, another observer here, and another observer here. Going to allow him to see absolutely everything coming in and out of any of the Terran bases. Gonna see that this base is coming up again, but it looks like he's hit the switch. We have zealots running into the mines. +2 attack is done. 1 attack is done for the Terran player. The Dragoons are going to be attacking in from the top. Looks like we do have the units dropping in from the shuttle as well, but I don't think Marine unfortunately has enough to hold on, but they're even in supply. The shuttle's going to go down to the turret, and V1 unsure what to do with his units. He's not really committing. A nice mine does go off on the Dragoons here, and Marine holds his high ground, and he's actually going to use this as an opportunity to attack in. He sees there's a 4th base, a 5th base even trying to come up, but is this a little bit too overambitious? He's got really, really nice tank positioning up here, and with the vultures moving up, is he moving up more tanks? Yes, he is, and V1 could find himself in a lot of trouble here. He is low on gateways. But Terran is in a very good position with an army advantage now. He's got the position advantage well. Zealots coming in from behind. There's a lot of zealots. There's going to be some units coming in from the other side as well. And he should be able to clean this up, I believe. It's going to be close though with all the Dragoons. He should be fine though. No real probe damage taken. A few of the probes actually did get pulled away through to there. But here we go. Zealot actually in the mineral line over here in the 5 o'clock position. We actually have a zealot in the other base as well with 4 kills, so really nicely done. It looks like Marine is trying to be a little bit over aggressive here. He doesn't want to split the map. He knows he's somewhat, it's very hard to call this game. I wouldn't really see either players at an advantage. Terran of course is behind in upgrades, He is up against the 2-0 attack. No armor or shield upgrades being done for the Protoss player. And he didn't manage to get the Nexus. The Nexus is still alive. He's actually going to use an SCV to try and kill it, but here we go. Lots of units pushing in on the final remaining tanks of Marine. It looks like a lot of units went down to the right. That could be a huge mine, but no, the mine gets target down at the last possible second. A huge tank shot. Oh, the mine! The mine doesn't go off, but that one certainly does. And it looks like he's trying to bait the Dragoons into the mines, but is it going to be enough? Vulture's actually pulled away to try and deal with that one Zealot. Not going to really be enough. Here we go, 2 more Dragoons going in. 2 mines, so a nice mine on that first Dragoon. And Marine manages to hold once again. Marine actually ahead in supply. The Vultures do get another kill. They're going to be able to attack these probes from the high ground if they want to, but here we go. V1 doing a very good job trying to hold on now. He's splitting the map entirely, going to take the 3 o'clock and the 9 o'clock bases. If he can hold on to these, this could be a very decisive game, but we have Arbiters on the way. Still, it looks like only 8 gateways, and the probes once again are stuck. The poor building placement of V1 is really hurting his economy here. He can't transfer the probes over. But if they were transferring over to this base, maybe it's better they're stuck. This is the second amount of probes that have been stuck here, by the way. We do actually have some nice mines going down from Marine. Marine making good usage of this high ground. There is a big choke. And here we go, nice mines going off, killing one of the Dragoons. But Marine has no defense down in this bottom right corner. He doesn't have anything to defend even against a single probe. And he's forced to send some of his units back from attacking. And here we go, it looks like V1 is going to try and take the high ground with his Dragoons. Is he going to be able to hold on? It looks like Marine is doing a very good job with his Vultures. Not going to kill the other 2 Dragoons, so he needed to really commit to that. He's actually going to lay a few more units, but Marine pulling way too many units back. Somehow V1's supply is so low, given the fact he had so many bases. The probes, once again, still actually stuck, bit unfortunate for him. Looks like a Dragoon is going to try and get the SCV. Gets it with the final hit. The probe goes down at exactly the same time as well. And V1 will manage to hold on to his bases for now. He does lose the 9 o'clock, but it did produce 2 probes before it went down. And this is when V1 is going to start having problems. But you know what? V1 has a big bank. He doesn't have that many units, so he must have so many probes. Looks like the probes finally did free themselves. Where are they going to go to, though? There's not really that much mining left for V1 on the map. V1, of course, did expand very quickly, so all of his bases are going to be losing a lot of units. Here we go. Arbiter's moving in, though. Vulture Miner blowing up everything there. The 9 o'clock or the 3 o'clock base is 100% going to go down. And a nice stasis field on the tank on the ramp, but he needed to really do everything else. So many units dying now for V1. And a great engagement for Marine. Gonna actually take him ahead in this game now. There's going to be absolutely no units here to defend against this. There's of course nothing that can shoot up, but they only do 10 damage. Look at this, that is so pitiful. There we go, another Arbiter coming in. That's going to be at least 20 damage on every single unit. Is there going to be another stasis field? There's not enough energy yet. We actually have some probes over there being taken down by thingies, but is there going to be a scan? Does Marine actually see these units? Marine doesn't scan. He scans at the last second, though. That's going to be enough to force the army away once again. And V1 is in a terrible position. If he wants to take this Ace match, he is going to need to show a better performance than this. He's doing the best he can. He should have recall soon, and 1 recall could end the game. There is very little recall defense. Finally, we're going to see some turrets actually coming up here, and that's going to allow him to hopefully help defend against the recalls, but that is not enough on its own. Looks like these units are, well, these Arbiters are actually going to kill a tank. There we go, Hero Arbiter right there. And Marine's units, a lot of them are actually really spread out. He has a lot of units, but all over the place. This is one of the problems that he could face. If V1 has a very big bank. If V1 can hold on to his bases, can build up a big enough army, he can actually push through, and push through the Terran army if it's split up. One of the big ways I lose games. And yeah, when I lose games, it's mostly because I split my army too much in TVP. And here we go, it looks like we do actually have one of the Dragoons going to go down immediately, probably. No, it does rectify its pathing mistake. but one of the problems V1 has is he keeps engaging in these awkward angles. Like, he needs to try and attack from the high ground, but this is a very, very small choke. And V1 is just going to sort of sit back and relax a little bit. Really, really nice mine placement though, and unit placement, I guess, from Marine. He's going to completely split the map, as you can see if we scroll across. There's actually tanks the whole way across here. Looks like we do actually have the sound of Goliaths killing something. But here we go. Oh, this is going to be a recall. Let's actually have a look at where this is going. We have some units pulling back with some SCVs to defend against this, but it's not going to be quick enough. This recall is going to land, and he has no units here to defend. There's actually 2 tanks. Is it going to be enough, though? He's recalling directly on top of the SCVs. Pulling the SCVs immediately. Really, really nicely done by Marine. But oh, missed EMP as well. Actually does EMP that Arbiter, never mind. Looked like it was going to be out of range, but here we go. Units pushing in. Gonna go straight for the tanks on the high ground. Units coming in from both angles. But once again, V1 is just throwing away so much army for very little gain. He's up 50 supply now though, 40 though. Can't actually count. Looks like this Zealot actually getting a few SCV kills. There's no more units left to defend. And most of the SCVs have actually been sent away from the 4th base now back to the 3rd. And he has stabilized. Looks like we do actually have some turrets trying to shoot down the Arbiters. Are the Arbiters going to get away? Yes, they are. Arbiters are very, very fast units. And that Zealot still alive in the mineral line. Gets 8 SCV kills. Really, really big kill for that Arbiter. Looks like we actually have some... What is that noise? Oh man, an Arbiter went down to a turret. I think the SCV just built that turret as well, so pretty unfortunate for him. Sending around so small, like so many small little groups of units. I'm really, really unsure what V1's plan is here. He's going to find it very difficult to break anywhere. And the more and more he throws away of his units, you can see he's mined out of his 3rd. He's going to be mined out of his natural. And the only base he's going to have alongside his bank is going to be his 4th, but that is halfway done as well. And it's going to be very, very difficult for him to actually expand again. Looks like we do actually have the Arbiters and the units trying to push in, trying to clear up the tanks over here. There's going to be a possible stasis. Could actually go for a recall in the main as well. But it looks like he will be able to break this. Units coming in from behind. A mine goes down on a High Templar though. That's one less High Templar. And that is not good for him. Actually losing another High Templar to another mine as well. So pretty unfortunate unit movement by V1. Marine, of course, is very low on money himself. He's very low on factories, only... Okay, so I think there's about 7 or 8 factories on my count there, and it looks like he's going to try and take this base, but is he just distance mining? Looks like he is. He's just distance mining from that 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock base at the moment. And V1 once again just building up a big, big army. And I get the horrible feeling, despite the fact Marine is doing incredibly well here, he's going to find it hard to remax. He's not got the correct upgrades. He's only on 2-2. He really should be on 3-3 at the moment. It's 2-2 against 3-1. And V1 most certainly does need some more gateways. He's still only on 8 gateways. The trouble is, one thing that he's going to have issues with now is the fact that he has a lot of units. He can't really move them all in one big clump at the moment because there's not really anywhere for him to go to. But I can't help but feel if he did just bring all of his units, I mean there's at least 3 control groups of army here. If he just pulled everything and attacked this base, I can't help but feel that V1 could win the game. We actually have a dropship going out over here with nothing in it for some reason. Maybe to actually fake out the Protoss player. Looks like the Zealot's actually going to get a tank as well. Gonna see that there is mining going on here. And looks like we do have an observer. Looks like we did hear something happening there. Looks like maybe the, yeah, so the dropship was actually killed by the cannons, unfortunately. So that dropship is not going to be able to do too much. We actually have vultures attacking this nexus now. But V1 is just sitting idly by with all of his units, unfortunately. Now, is this a bugged replay again? I don't think it is. But it... No, because both their money would be going up, wouldn't it? Wait, it's a bugged replay again. Is it? Rangers isn't really mining. This must be bugged. This has to be bugged, right? He's just scanned his own units. He's moving the... Oh man, it's a bugged replay. No! Okay, there was an Arbiter recall or something down here. V1 must be miles ahead in this game. I mean, he's got all his units sitting idly. I am casting a bug replay right now. I have no idea what was going on. Looks like whatever was here just died. And yeah, that's actually just... I'm going to bring up the thing. Oh, the game's almost over now anyway. I think one of them is about to say GG. And I'm guessing because of the supplies, it's going to be Marine that GG's out of here. I can't believe the replay bugged again. That's 2 Chupung-Ryeong games in a row that have bugged. What the heck? This is so confusing. Why does this keep happening? Yeah, the supply probably isn't correct either, but another scan did go down. That's why V1's money was so high. Well, it looks like that... You know what? It makes sense. There's a CC here. That's why all the SCVs are distance mining. What the heck? Okay. Bugged replays are just really, really silly. Like, why do some buildings build and not other ones? Why do some units move and not other ones? Like, no one's moved their units. And here we go. Marine GG's out. We're not sure what the outcome of that game was. But I'm guessing V1 put on a show.